Welcome to Good Morning at DRC TV. Let me ask you, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please sign up. Send this link to the people that you do know and give us thumbs up just so that we can keep in touch. And every time we put out video, you will receive a notification. And you do so by just touching that bell. Let me just talk about this today and right now, that we want to address what is happening at the G20 summit that just happened this week. I know that somehow it may be good news for Africans to know that we are now, in the coming weeks, we are going to be members of the G20. So G20, as you all know, brings together industrialized country or richest nations around the world. But we were never part of this gathering. But somehow in India, this week, it has actually, we Africans have been called upon to take part in the G20 summit, to become, if you like, a permanent member. But you will ask yourself this question. You would have thought that all these years when they were doing all of this G20, G7, and so on and so forth, that they would think that this is a continent where we go when we need natural resources, and this is the continent that has allowed us to become industrialized, and this is where we go to get what we need in order to become great. And they would at least invite even one country to be part of this, but that wasn't the case. You always wonder, what is it, the leaders, those who make the decision, the elite and all of that, what do they think of Africans? Were we never in their minds? This tells you how this world is run. This tells you the state of our world today. Even when most of what they're using in the world is coming from the continent of Africa. When I say most, it just means that the natural resources that are using for the technology, most of it is coming from, I didn't say all, but most of it is coming from Africa. They love to exploit and they love to take, but they just don't know how to give back. And this is what it is. But we cannot accept to continue and just being subservient. That isn't right. We're not supposed to be beggars and asking for foreign aid, but it's supposed to be real trade. And this is what's basically happened here at the G20 summit in India. You also must understand that what is happening here, there is a great divide, as you would understand. Russia and China, they are really, if you like, playing a major role. Now, you have to understand as well that Xi Jinping was not part of what happened. I mean, didn't take part. He wasn't there. Now, we understand that he wasn't there, maybe because of the issues between China and India, and that's the reason why he didn't show up. But all we do know and understand is that the West has always played a bad role when it comes to Africa. And you can tell the difference, how things are swinging when China is involved, when Russia is involved, because they are pro-Africans. When I say pro, it doesn't mean they like Africans. It just means that they kind of play a fairer game. They like to level the ground a little bit so that Africans can feel part of what is going on. Now, I know that they are obviously reading the situation, understanding what the West has done in the past, and they are coming to say, look, we're not like them. We're gonna be, if you like, play a much safer or a fairer game. And this is what they're trying to do. They are basically trying to make the most of this current situation. And this is why Africans are thinking, look, the BRICS is good for us. And that's why you're seeing that, all this, if you like, trade and energy and the meeting and all that is going on with BRICS at the moment, it is a signal that, yes, this is good partners. BRICS is actually good for Africa. But yeah, I think about things like this and I'm thinking, yes, you have the G20 summit and you have the United Nations. and you have the Security Council. And Africa, not even one African country is a member of the Security Council. And yet, we're talking about the entire continent. And that's not right. Something wrong with that paradigm, on that way of looking at things, or that mindset that Africans are out there and they're not supposed to be part of this. Things must change. Can't just have the status quo. I think the time has come, and we need to realize that. And this is why we are sounding the alarm. We are banging on this fact that our leaders must rise to the occasion and understand that this is time where they must put their foot down and say, look, no, we need to do business the way it's supposed to be done. And this is one thing that, I like about our president, Felix Tshisekedi. He's a man of steel. They call him Fachi Beton because he's a man of steel. He's one man that when he stands, he says, look, no, things must change. It can't just go on as it used to be in the past. Felix is always fighting that Africans will have their place in the concept of nation. He's fighting that the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and also Africa, I don't know. But, I sense and I look and I see in him a leader who has one thing in his mind, that he wants to bring people, to rally people together, to unify Africans so that we can stand and rise up as a continent, not to dominate others, but, to be equal partners and be able to do business. And this is the way it's supposed to be. And this is why I'm calling on all of us as Africans where we might be. Look, we're talking about the G20. Yes, a lot of people are clapping their hands and are thinking that's a great thing has happened. We are not part of the G20. But, this should have been ages ago. We shouldn't have been left out. It's just like, the Security Council. Why are we outside? We're supposed to be inside. But this is only going to happen as leaders rise up and people take their place and say, look, enough is enough. We want to be part of what is happening. Look at what's happening at Global South. The BRICS is actually announcing and is telling the West, things cannot be the same way. It must all change. Well, folks, all I had for you to say that, look, Africa is now part of the G20. And if this unfolds the way it is going, it is a good signal. It's not bad, it's a good signal, but we must do more so that we are recognized for what we are bringing in on the table. We must take responsibility and keep moving in the right direction as a nation and as a continent. Friends, can you please subscribe to our channel, share this information with others, and give us thumbs up. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye for now.